Welcome back to another reading video, scholars. I hope you are excited about today's lesson because I am too. So, let's get started. When readers are confused, we can go back to the beginning of the sentence. We think about what is happening. We get a running start and look at the first part of the word and think what would make sense, all right? So, now that we've read how my family lives in America, we've learned about Sanu, we've learned about Eric, and we've learned about April, we are going to be doing a have to where you have to write about one of the families. Let me get it set up and then we'll get started, okay? All right, scholars. So, for your have to for today, the first part of your have to, you're going to need your have to paper, whether you're doing it on Cami or on paper, that's fine. You just need to have it. And you're also gonna need to have the three anchorages that we made before about Santa's family traditions, Eric's family traditions, and April's family traditions. To help us out, I'm gonna go over all three right now. So we're gonna read them again, and then I'm gonna talk about what your have to is, okay? All right, let's start with Santa. So Santa's family traditions. Their American traditions, they speak English, sing lullabies like Precious Lord, Take My Hand, and Hush Little Baby, Don't You Cry. Her Senegalese traditions are speak a language spoken in Senegal, Mam Budajen, Daddy's Mommy, Mam Bugore, Daddy's Daddy, Yahi Mommy, Bahi Daddy, Chebojen, which is rice, fish, and vegetables. They wash hands in a bowl, they eat on the ground. Everyone eats together from one big bowl with their hands. They dress African style. They play African drum. They do braid. She learned to braid a Senegalese twist. And from both cultures, they play African drums with American lullabies. So that was Santa's family traditions. Now let's go over Eric's family traditions. For their American traditions, they speak English, play baseball, and say prayers. For their Puerto Rican traditions, speak Spanish. Muchas gracias means thank you. De nada, don't mention it. Sana, hill. Uno, dos is how they count. 1, 2. Madrina is godmother. Sofrito, which is a mixture of spices. Arroz con pollo y habichuelas, which is rice, chicken, and beans. They shop at the Spanish meat market. They say a special Spanish healing poem. And they dance the merengue. From both cultures, they play baseball and say prayers. Now that we've gone over Eric's family traditions, let's read April's family traditions. For their American traditions, they speak English. She has an American name, April. The words are made with letters. They write from left to right. They eat with a fork. They eat pizza, which is originally from Italy, and they go to public school. For her Chinese family traditions, they speak Mandarin, which is one of the many Chinese languages. She has a Chinese name, Cheng Lan, which means admire orchid. She calls her daddy Baba, and she calls her mommy Mama. Each word that they write have its own special marks. They write from right to left. Sumal young man, which is called sesame noodles, is what she likes to eat as a snack in Chinese school. They eat with chopsticks. And she goes to Chinese school and she writes calligraphy and they play tangram. From both cultures, they play a game to test our wits, finding letters in a pizza box. All right, so now that we've gone over all three of those family traditions, I want you to think about one of those families that you want to write about. All right, so think very closely. Would you like to write about Santa's family, Eric's family traditions, or April's family traditions? All right, so you can pick whichever one of those three you want. For me to use for my example for you, I think I'm going to use April's family traditions, all right, for my piece. So here's what your have to is for today that you have to write about. It says, choose one family from how my family lives in America and describe with pictures and words the traditions that are specific to that family's culture, as well as the new traditions they have created. So, you're going to pick one family. Could be April's family, Eric's family, or Santa's family. Then you're going to draw some pictures to show what the family's traditions are, right? Their American tradition, their Senegalese tradition, or their Puerto Rican traditions, or their Chinese traditions. And then you're going to write about what those traditions are. You don't have to write about every single tradition. You're picking one tradition from each section of their family traditions. One American tradition, one Chinese tradition, or Senegalese tradition, or Puerto Rican tradition, depending on who you're writing about. And then you're also going to talk about what new tradition did they create. So both cultures, what traditions did they merge together to create their own tradition that is a mixture of both of their cultures. All right. So you have one box to draw pictures in. If you want, you can split it into 3. So if I was going to split my box, I would go like this. I would go, since I'm writing about 3 different things, I would make enough space down here for one tradition, and I would split the top in 2. So tradition 1, maybe it's the American tradition, right? So if this side is their American tradition, I would write that, so I know under this box right here, I'm not drawing about the Chinese tradition or the Puerto Rican tradition or the Senegalese tradition. I'm writing about the American tradition. And over here, since I said I could use April, I would write Chinese. So I know under this box right here, I'm going to be drawing their Chinese tradition that they have, right? And then on the bottom, maybe I would write both culture. So what is the new tradition that they came up with using both cultures? All right. Both cultures. And then I would draw my picture, and then I would write my sentences. Because I know you are all becoming such amazing writers. Because I've seen how many of you have been writing long sentences. You've been following the writing rules that Miss Kitchen have been teaching you. So I gave you extra writing space so you can write as much as you need to tell me all you can about one tradition that they have from their American side, one tradition that they have either from their Senegalese or Puerto Rican or Chinese side, and the tradition that they have from both culture. All right, so that's your mission for today. Once you are all done, you can go on RazKids and read for 20 minutes. All right, so I'm going to say your mission again. Okay, so listen closely. All right, so are you ready for me to say it again? Yeah? All right, here's your mission for today. Remember, you have to choose one family and describe with pictures and words the traditions that are specific to that family's culture, all right, as well as the new traditions they have created. And when you are all done, you're going to read on RazKids, and you need to ask yourself if a word sounds like it should be in the book when you are confused, okay? That's all you have to do for today. So are you ready? Yeah? Get ready. Get set. Go.